Hello my friends, welcome to Jen to the Zen Yoga. I'm Jen and today I'm sharing a short practice with you in celebration of Earth Day. If you love this amazing beautiful planet that we call home and want to honor and connect with both the earth and yourself, you're in the right place. So let's get started. We're going to begin in a comfortable seated position. Begin to find your sit bones right away and sit up nice and tall. And just relax the hands on the tops of the legs. Relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. And just take a soft gaze out in front of you, just gently relaxing the eyes at the corners. If it feels okay to you, you can go ahead and shut down the eyes here as well. Immediately just beginning to notice and being consciously aware of the inhales and the exhales. And slowly starting to smooth them out and making them each a little bit longer. And noticing the rise and the fall of the chest. And just becoming completely conscious of being here in this moment. Letting go of the day that you've already had so far. And just bringing in a thought of gratitude for showing up for yourself to this practice today. Noticing where all the points of contact are coming into touching the earth. And bring in the next inhale a little bit deeper down into the low belly. And open up the mouth for an audible sigh as you sigh out, letting go of your troubles or your worries. Inhale to fill up all the way into the low belly and hold that for a count of 3, 2, 1, and again an audible exhale out. On the next inhale, go ahead and slowly flutter open the eyes, bringing the hands just out in front of you, a little wiggle of the fingers to wake us up, and inhale to slowly raise our hands up and overhead. Breathe in deep, exhale as you turn gently to the right. On the next inhale, let your spine come up a little bit long and taller than before, and as you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more to the right, taking the gaze over the shoulder. If you have pain in your neck, feel free to leave your neck more central. Inhale, floating through center and taking that twist to the other side. Inhale and lift the spine up tall through the crown of the head. Exhale to see if you can twist just a little bit more, taking the gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale to untwist, coming through center. Bringing the right hand out to the side, tilting the fingertips up a little bit on the mat here. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and over for a side bend towards the right. Root down through the left sit bone here, feeling it touching the mat, stretching on the left side body. Inhale as you come through center and switch that over to the other side. A nice stretch through the right side body, rooting down through that right sit bone. The chest is spiraled open here. Inhale, come through center, and we're just going to begin to flow from left to right, using your imagination as to something that you find that blows in the breeze, like a wild flower or some tall grasses. And just flow with that thought from left to right. Inhaling as you come through center, exhaling as you bend. If you feel silly, that's okay. You can just bend left to right. But we're here to think about the earth and all those beautiful things that are on it. So this is a great way to bring that into your practice and start to embody that. Inhale, coming back through center and just come to a neutral position. Go ahead and bring yourself forward onto all fours here. Line your wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hip bones here. The tops of the feet are pressed flat into the mat. The fingers spread nice and wide, and the spine is long from the crown of the head to the tailbone. The neck is in a straight line with the spine. And we'll begin to continue warming up the spine. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, open the chest. The shoulder blades come towards one another. Be careful not to crank the neck back, but we are looking up here for cow pose. Exhale, roll the shoulders forward, tilt the tailbone underneath, press out through the hands, and the shoulder blades come apart for cat pose. Inhale, lift the gaze, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, open the heart. Exhale, round and drop the gaze, drop the tailbone, push away from the mat. And again, try to take some rhythmic poses here of your own through cat-cow. Exhaling as you fold forward and inhaling as you open and expand. What can we open up to? And when you're ready, bring yourself back to a neutral spine. Bring the big toes to touch and walk the knees out as wide as the mat here. Sink the hips down towards the heels. Stretch the hands forward and bring the head and chest towards the mat, resting the forehead heavy on the mat. And just breathe here, letting your body relax and melt into the mat. Knowing that this is a resting pose that you can come back to at any time during the practice. This is a great pose for you to take off of the mat and into your daily lives if you are feeling stiff or need a stress relief moment. Just come to the floor and get in child's pose. Keep your deep rhythmic breathing going here. And maybe bring in an intention for your practice. Or just, I suggest a thought of something on our beautiful planet that comes first to your mind. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of something you really cherish and love that's beautiful and amazing on this great earth? See if you can carry that with you through the practice. On the next inhale, slowly bring yourself up and out of child's pose. Back through tabletop, lining up the wrists and the knees again. But exhale as you kind of sink back towards the hips, sliding the hands across the mat, up the thighs. Inhale as you stand up to a kneeling position here. Roll the shoulders back and down. And the palms face forward. Kind of like a kneeling mountain pose here. Inhale, let's sweep the arms out to the sides and overhead. Lifting up tall through the arms and the side bodies. Feeling an activation in the core even. Navel draws towards the spine. Exhale, float the arms down behind you. Clasp the hands together. Exhale as you slide the hands down the back, chest opens, shoulder opens. Inhale, take the gaze up towards the ceiling slightly. And again, if you have neck pain, just keep your neck neutral. Do what feels right in your body, always tuning in and listening to your intuition. Exhale, release that bind. Bring the gaze back to neutral. And here we're going to go ahead and slowly step one foot up and then the other and walk to the top of the mat. Check out the feet, look that they're about hip distance apart. Or you can bring your big toes to touch. If that's comfortable in your body, you can bring your feet together to touch here. Mine are about hip distance apart or maybe a little bit closer. Slight bend in the knee. Root down through the feet very securely and just notice. Maybe sway side to side for a moment, just noticing the feeling of the feet on the mat. Maybe rock forward and back, just feeling that the feet are completely secure and connected to the earth. Inhale this to stand up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down, opening the hands forward. Lifting up through tall, through the crown of the head. And just bringing in a thought or the vision of a mountain into your mind's eye. Notice what do you think of when I first say envision a mountain in your mind's eye? A feeling or what does that mean to you? Let's focus on a feeling of security, steadiness, firmness in our base. Notice the left and the right of the heel of the foot, and the left and the right of the ball of the foot. Root down through all four corners of the feet. Inhale up through the arches of the feet, through the front of the body. And exhale, noticing a grounding feeling going down the back of the body into the legs, the feet, and down into the earth. Mountain pose is an active pose. It's something that can make you feel grounded. At the same time, you're also open to receiving. You're standing up tall, you're aspiring towards the sky, and you can also be inviting. So, inhale, let's sweep the arms up and overhead, extended mountain. Exhale, fold forward into a deep forward fold. Bringing the crown of the head towards the floor if that's available to you. If it's not, you can just bring in some blocks or just be okay with leaning halfway over as far as you're able to in your practice. If you're using blocks, you can really root down and feel that groundedness through the hand, through the blocks to the earth. If you're able to press fingertips or hands on the mat, bring the crown toward the earth. Gentle bend in the legs here and relaxing all the muscles in the neck. Relax the muscles of the face, the shoulders, the neck, and let gravity pull down. Coming back to noticing the breath. Slowly rolling back up to standing. Bringing the neck and the head up last. Roll the shoulders back and down. Back into Tadasana. Inhale, bring the hands forward as you sink the hips back. The hands can stay just out in front. Notice that the weight is heavily placed in the heels. Thighs are kind of squeezed towards one another. The gaze is forward. If you have shoulder pain, you can always keep the hands at heart center here for chair pose. Or you can also keep them on the hips, slightly tucking the tailbone underneath to keep the ribs from flaring outwards. Inhale, sink just a little bit deeper. You can also raise the hands up, biceps by the ears if you want to challenge a little bit more, squeezing the hips together. You're doing great here. Another breath in and out through the nose. Inhale, come up out of chair, release the arms down. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves into a wide stance here on the long side of the mat. Bring the feet as wide as feels comfortable for you. Bringing the hips to the hands to the hips. Inhale, standing up as tall as you can, bringing the crown of the head towards the sky. Taking the right toes and pointing them to the short side of the mat and bending in that right knee. Pointing the left toes inward slightly. Go ahead and adjust your chest opening to the long side of the mat. Inhale, float the arms up to shoulder height for Warrior Two pose. Feel the strength in the legs. Take the gaze over the right fingertips. You can even kind of glance down at the knee, and just to check to make sure it's not folding in towards the middle of the mat. You're trying to extend the outer thigh towards the right side of the mat. Gaze off into the distance as if you're just looking at the most beautiful sunrise or sunset. We are grounded and we are firm here in our Warrior Two, but we're also able to relax into the breath. Notice that the sound of the breath can sound like the waves of an ocean. Flip the right palm over. Inhale as you raise the right arm up and overhead. The left hand comes to the back of the left thigh. Inhale, feeling length through the right side body. Reversed warrior pose here. If you want to take a little bend, a side bend, you can take it a little further. You can stay right here, or you can bend further towards the left. The chest stays spiraled open. Inhale to come back through Warrior Two. Straighten the right leg. Go ahead and release the arms down. Bring the feet back to parallel. And turning the left toes to the short side of the mat. Bending into the left knee. Turning the right toes in slightly. And then just opening yourself to the long side of the mat. Inhale, float the arms up to shoulder height. Take the gaze over the left fingertips if you're able to. Again, check out that left knee. I'm going to make sure it's not falling inward. You're doing great here. Come back to your centering thought. What do you love about this, or even think of maybe another thing? Add to that list. Flip the left palm over. Bring the left hand up and overhead. Right hand comes down to the back of the thigh. Inhale, lengthen through the left body. Stay here if this feels good to you. If you want to bend, exhale, bend towards the right. Chest is spiraled open. Try to bring in a smile here if you can. Inhale, come back through. Warrior Two. Gaze off to the sunset one more time. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Go ahead and release the arms down to the hips. Walk your feet to parallel, but we're staying here in a wide stance. Inhale, straighten up nice and tall once again. We're going to bring the heels of the feet in towards one another. Toes point to the corners of the mat. Let's float the arms out to a star position here in star pose. Think of a starfish. Think of the stars in the sky. And then from the heart, root down through the feet. Exhale, sink. Opening into goddess pose here. The back of the thighs are pressed towards the back of the mat. The shoulder blades squeeze towards one another. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, sink into goddess. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess. You got this. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess. Go ahead and bring yourself back to star pose. Inhale one more time, sending energy out to all the extremities. Exhale, float the arms down. Bring the feet back to center. Bringing your feet about hip distance apart here. I'm going to play with the balance now. Root down into both of the feet and feel that grounded feeling. We're going to shift all of the weight into our right foot. And do a little kickstand here with the left foot onto the right ankle. And I'd like you to just imagine for a moment, really visualize that the foot is connected to the earth. It's connected by roots that grow deep down into the earth that will hold you sturdy and support you. This can be your tree pose for the day, just staying right here, playing with balance, maybe lifting the toe up and then placing it back down, or feeling comfortable to use the wall here if you want to play around with your balance. Depending on where you are in your yoga journey, you can also slide the foot up to the calf, leaving the knee pointed open as much as possible. Rooting down through that right foot, imagine those roots are very firm and holding you and supporting you. The earth has a wonderful way of doing that. If you're feeling really adventurous, or if it's in your practice, you can also bring the knee up a little further, grabbing the ankle and pressing the left foot into the right thigh. Bringing the hands together at the heart. Picking a place to keep your gaze where it's nice and still. Something that's still, not moving. And just stare at that. Focusing on your breath as well. Notice the sounds of the breath. If you would like to grow your branches of your tree, slowly start to move them up and out to any position that you would like to try. I invite you to please be okay with the wobbles that come. It's okay if you wobble. It's okay if you fall. It's okay. It's all okay. Just try it again, or try it next time. The earth doesn't mind. It's there, and we should be gentle with ourselves. Go ahead and release out of tree pose. Slowly, with as much control as possible, release your leg down. Hands to hips. Roll the right ankle. And we'll switch it to the other side. Root down through that left foot. Notice the four corners. Grow roots into the earth. Kickstand your right foot. Stand up nice and tall. You can bring the hands to the heart here. Grab onto a wall if that was what you needed. And stay here, or try a tree at the calf. Try bringing it up further. Just honoring all the trees on the earth that give us this oxygen without us even having to do anything. Inhale, slowly start to grow your tree. Let's give thanks right now for all of the oxygen that we have. Every breath we take, we owe to these beautiful creations on the earth. In my mind's eye, I can see all these beautiful trees being made out there with all of your shapes. And they're all unique and different, and I love it. Slide the hands back through heart center. Slowly release as slowly as you can out of tree pose. And let's shake out that other ankle. Let's go ahead and bring the feet nice and wide for a brief forward fold before we come down to the mat. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. Float the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward into a wide-legged forward fold here. Coming into whatever level of bend that you're able to. Inhale to fill up as full as you can. And open up the mouth, an audible sigh. Letting go of anything that you need to let go of to make some more space.
those troubles, those worries will fall right out onto the floor and be absorbed into the earth and be taken away. Slight bend in the knee here. Engage your core and roll up slowly. You'll toe your feet back together, and let's go ahead and come down to our mat. I'm gonna come to a seated position and extend the right leg out. The left foot is folded towards the inner thigh. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. Go ahead and twist the torso towards your extended leg. Feel where the leg meets the mat. Flex the foot. Inhale. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward towards the extended leg to whatever level is available to you. This is a good place. If you have a strap, you can always bring in a strap and utilize that right here. Inhaling as you bring length to the spine. Exhaling using the breath to ever so gently pull you into the fold. I offer the idea of not yanking or pulling yourself into deeper bends. Inhale, use the breath. Exhale, it will float you towards your leg just a little bit more. Inhale to slowly bring yourself up out of that bend. Then twist yourself towards the left for a brief counter stretch. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Let's switch the legs out here. The right foot comes in towards the left thigh. The left leg is extended. Flex the foot. Go ahead and turn your torso towards the extended leg. And float the arms up and overhead. Exhale as you fold over the extended leg. You can place hands flat on the mat. You can grab the foot or the leg. Again, use the strap here if that is helpful. Exhale, let the head and neck fold over the extended leg. Inhale, slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Twist gently towards the right. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale, come through center. And go ahead and extend both legs and come down to the mat on our backs, but leaving the knees bent. Feet flat on the mat. Back flat on the mat. Hands are palms face down. Walk the feet towards one another. Open the leg. Let the legs fall open for Recline Butterfly. You can place the hands on the body somewhere or on the mat. And just let your body come into a very restful position here. A restful state. Notice that the mat and the earth beneath it is still there, providing support. As you inhale, slowly help the legs come back up together, and then bring yourself into a completely flat position on the mat, palms face up or down. Bring the legs nice and wide. We'll come into a brief shavasana here, your final resting pose. The physical part of the practice is over. Allow yourself to lie here and just breathe and rest. Let yourself sink into the floor where you're lying. Let your breath come back to its most natural rhythm. feels. And I offer the thought of ahimsa, the yogic philosophy of non-harming. May we go forward through our day, our week, and as long as we possibly can, each day bringing that idea with us of non-harming towards the earth. Provides the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the nutrition that we eat from fruits and vegetables and other things. I invite you to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you wish. Just rest and be. If you'd like to go ahead and end your practice, you can begin to wiggle the toes and fingers. Nod the head left or right. Slowly and gently roll over to one side or the other. If your eyes were closed, you can leave them closed or flutter them open. And slowly, gradually come back up to a seated position. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. And with so much gratitude from my heart to yours, thank you for joining me for this Earth Day practice. I am so happy to be in this fellowship with you, even though it's through a virtual manner. It does still mean something to the collective. I'm here supporting you with yoga practices, and I wish you so much peace and joy in the rest of your day. Thank you.